So I'm sure everybody has bought from a small business before, and if you have, you probably noticed that the prices of a small business's products are normally a bit higher than what the products of a bigger corporation are. And most of the time that is expected. But what happens when these prices get too high and these companies start to get called out? Hi, my name's Alyssa and I'm a Billy fan, obviously. And today we're going to be looking at a pretty recent case of somebody ordering from a small business and being unhappy with the product and the price of the product. Over the past few months, I feel like the sentiment of local and indie coffee shop just not being the best, either price-wise or hours-wise. I feel like I've seen that discussed a lot more. Just a few months ago, there was a video of somebody who went to go get coffee and they walked out of the coffee shop because their total for one drink came to $16. I have to agree, is absolutely insane for one coffee. And personally, I think that her decision to walk out was pretty valid. $16 for one coffee, no matter what size, unless you're giving me a full gas tank, maybe not even then, but unless I'm getting the biggest thing of coffee I've ever seen, I honestly don't know why it would be $16. Even with a bunch of add-ons, what was the original price of the coffee for it to come out to $16? I feel like you would have to put on every single add-on ever. And also, what are their add-ons? You know what I mean? What do they charge for? What do they consider an extra charge if you make a modification, you know? And I do have to agree that that is an insane price, because when you kind of think about it, that is 2 hours of work for somebody. You know what I mean? For one coffee. And this is the problem that people have with small businesses now, especially small coffee businesses, is the fact that they are charging insane amounts of prices. Insane amounts of prices. Okay. They are charging crazy prices that they honestly shouldn't be charging. Obviously, when you run a business, some of the things that you need to take account for in your prices are the items that you are using. So, sticking with the coffee shops, they need to, whichever drink they are making, let's just say a standard coffee, they need to take into account the cup that they are putting in the coffee. Whatever that a single cup comes out to be in the package that they bought it in, that's how much they need to take into account. How much ounces of coffee they use in that cup that they are serving to somebody, whatever that comes out to be when it is subtracted from whatever they use to make it. Why is my AirPod upside down? But however many ounces of coffee they use, however much that comes out to be, that needs to be accounted for. You can't estimate too, you really have to be on top of it and how much everything is, your supplies. And of course that is just to break even with the supplies, or at least making your money back. And for small businesses, it might be a bit more than, say, Starbucks or Dunkin' or other higher, corporate coffee shops, because they might not have as many resources. But then you also do need to add a bit more on for, obviously, labor and stuff. And that's how you're going to pay your employees, if you have any, and just make a profit in general, especially if you're just starting. Even if you don't have employees, you just need to make a profit, and that little bit extra is how you're going to do it. But it shouldn't be too much extra, you know, maybe a few dollars extra, but not $10 extra. And unfortunately, this is why most people continue going to places like Starbucks and Dunkin' instead of supporting these small businesses. They just can't afford it. You know what I mean? And I'll get to this a bit later in the video when we get into the actual bit of it. But even if people have the money to spend on local and smaller business, most of the time the prices will drive them away even if they have the money to spend on it, because people aren't that stupid, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people can most of the time tell companies are just upping their prices just to do it. However, let's get into the main subject of this video. Just the other day, a creator uploaded a video to TikTok. She shows her cup that she got from a company called Prickly Pear Coffee, and it is one of their more specialty drinks where they have a cup that is split in half down the middle, and you can get one drink on one side and then another drink on another side. And basically in this video, Katie talks about her experience at this coffee place, and then she also shows how she believes that she was basically scammed and charged way too much for her drink because it barely qualifies as a medium in Starbucks.
If you live in Nashville and you know what Prickly Pear Coffee is, I'm going to do a little experiment real quick just so you can be pissed off with me, okay? They have these thing called split cups, okay? I usually get a refresher from them. It's like give or take $5 or $6 for a refresher. The split cup is supposed to be 2 full drinks. She goes to ring it up. It's so you could try 2 different flavors. She goes to ring it up and it's like $12 and some change. And I go, wait, is that for 1 drink? And she's like, yeah, because it's 2 drinks. So I was like, oh, it's 2 full drinks. And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'll try it because, like, I'm making a video anyway. I was like, whatever, I'll try it. I was like, I'm going to do something when I get home after I drink them. I'm going to put it in a venti Starbucks cup because this is what I usually get, like, my refreshers. This cup is $6. If I get a venti refresher, it's usually about $6 and some odd change, right? This was $12. This is not full all the way with water because there's no ice in this. They put ice in it when they give you a refresher. Venti Starbucks cup, $6 and some change when I get a refresher. Look at this. Add ice to that. That's just as much as you get in a split cup thing for half of the price. I'm never going to Prickly Pear again. I'm so irritated about it. This doesn't matter. Like, there's people dying. I understand. I'm just saying. So that you have the knowledge that I have, maybe don't get the split cup things from Prickly Pear. Anyway, now you can see the video that I was like planning on posting and being like, oh, I love these. They're so cute. There's this place called Prickly Pear Coffee that has a split cup coffee cup. So essentially if you want 2 drinks and they don't go together, you can get them split. Like you can get 1 of each drink. I'm going to do that right now because they have refreshers and I want to try 2 flavors. But you can do it with coffee and like try tea, whatever. She said it was $12 because it's like 2 full drinks, but I don't know. I'm going to test that out. I'm going to actually pour them into like regular cups and see how much it is. But strawberry icing is so good. You need to put lemonade in them. Dragon fruit.
I don't know if I'm mean, but I don't think she was too harsh in the video because I kind of be pissed too if I got like, I feel like 1 of those drinks adds up to like a small, basically not even, because she said that there's ice in there and ice is just filler at this point. Like, all companies do this. I'm not even gonna call out the small businesses here. I'm just gonna say every single company does this. Ice is just a blatant filler at this point, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, if I were to pay $12 for what barely added up to a medium drink, and I was told that I was paying for 2 full-size drinks, very clearly I'm not. Like, you can see the big split down the middle cup. Like, those drinks are, I'm just saying, like 4 sips for me and it's gone. Like, although it did seem like she liked the drinks a bit, although she said that they needed some lemonade, so maybe they were a little bland. But I don't know. Personally, I would be mad too. Someone in the comments said, if I ordered a large pizza, half pepperoni, half mushroom, I wouldn't get charged for 2 pieces. I get charged for 1 large pizza. And I have to agree, because it is technically 1 drink. The 2 halves of the drink still add up to 1, like, whatever size that drink is. They're just 2 different flavors. It's still the same amount of drink. You know what I mean? Like, let's say that drink was 16 ounces. She would still be getting 16 ounces of drink, just 8 ounces of each flavor. So, charging her for 2 full drinks really doesn't make any sense. And apparently on their menu, at least their physical menu, like at their little stand in person, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but it's just what I saw in the comments. I can't remember if she said it in the actual video or not, I couldn't tell. But apparently she did not have the coffee company did not have their prices listed on their menu, which I do have to agree with the comments is almost always kind of a red flag. Because for me, not having prices on the menu kind of is just like, we don't want people to know how much our stuff actually is. Because that's the thing, is like, yes, when you're told it's crazy expensive, can you just say, oh, never mind, and not order it? Yeah, but that's kind of really awkward, like, and I feel like they know that, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of awkward to be like, oh, never mind, that's actually too expensive for me. Like, I don't know, I feel like they kind of know that most people have kind of, like, anxiety with that, like, oh, now I feel bad for not ordering, you know, like, they thought help out their business and stuff, and like, oh shit, now they think I'm broke. But also, it is very sketchy to not have set prices, at least on your menu, like, even if you have set prices for your company, but not having set prices for your customers to see is kind of sketchy. Because to me, I kind of assume with that is that you're changing your prices throughout the day, which maybe I'm in the wrong here and there's actually nothing wrong with that. I think there was a thing where like Wendy's or some fast food company was doing that, where their prices would like up during certain hours of the day. I don't know, but for me, it's just kind of a shitty thing to do. Like, I don't know, I personally just don't vibe with that. Like, just, like, what's stopping you from just charging based off someone's vibe? Like, or like, what's stopping them from, like, upping their, like, labor fee one day? Like, oh, I'm having kind of a bad day today, so let me charge, like, $5 more for my normal, like, labor fee. And again, I feel like having no prices set for your customers to see kind of draws away people from your company and potentially ordering from you. Just because I feel like people have the same mindset that I do, where it's like, if they see that prices aren't displayed, they're like, oh, okay, this isn't for me. You know what I mean? Like, I probably can't afford this stuff, because you're either hiding the prices for a reason that it's really expensive, or your mindset is, oh, the type of people I'm catering to don't even need to look at the prices, you know, like, they're so rich that they don't even care what the price is. They don't need to see that. So, like, most people who see that are just gonna, like, walk away, obviously, because, like, the majority of the population isn't like that. They can't just walk up to some place and not even care about the prices, you know what I mean? Like, personally for me, I will not go to a restaurant. Like, no matter how good they look, I will not go to a certain place or not order a certain thing if it is too expensive. Like, I was looking at this restaurant one time, and literally their thing of mac and cheese was like $30-some. Like, no. Like, I'm sorry, I am a mac and cheese connoisseur, but I'm not getting paid for it. So, gonna have to stay curious about that one. But getting back to the video, the people in the comments did agree with her that being charged for 2 drinks for a half cup of each refresher was a very stupid decision. They obviously agreed that it was way too expensive and that the company should not have been charging that much. And like most things that happen with small businesses, this got back to them on social media, because a lot of their promotion comes through social media. This led Prickly Pear Coffee Company to block Katie after leaving a comment on her video that I think we just need to take a look at, because I'm not too sure what to think about it at the moment.
So I'm beefing with my local coffee company, and they blocked me because I posted a video that was like, hey, I really like this drink. It's a good drink, actually, but it's $12. And that's insane, because it's not coffee and it has no caffeine. It's actually just what they call a refresher, which has no caffeine, and it is just juice. And I posted my video being like, hey, this is insane, because I'm getting about 16 to 20 ounces of liquid for $12, and it has no caffeine in it, and you don't have to make it. It's a pre-made mixture that they just pour into the cup and add either water or lemonade. And they commented this response, and they said, it's $10. No, it's not, babe. It's not $10. It was $12 plus. If it was $12, you likely added different milk, extra shot, etc. Hey, did you watch the video? Because I ordered a refresher. That's not coffee. I didn't add anything. It's just juice. That is also the same amount you would get in a venti, if not less, because they would add ice. You also added ice. That's a crazy thing to say. Second of all, there were people that commented and they were like, if you went to Starbucks and you got 2 grandes, you would get, it would be $12 too. And I want to say something so true, bestie. If I went to Starbucks and I got their grande, which is 16 ounces, I would pay about $12 for 2 of them. Prickly Pear's drinks are, they say in their own comments, 12 ounces. So I'm already getting less liquid. And the 2 16-ounce drinks I would get from Starbucks, they would have caffeine in them. So for the same amount, I'd be getting more drink at Starbucks with caffeine. Okay? Anyway, after they blocked me, then everybody went to their videos and they were commenting on them and they were like, this is an insane way to handle a response to a video that said your drink was good, but it's just a little bit overpriced. Blocking her is insane. Also, you could have just been like, oh my god, we're so sorry that our employee misspoke. Like, whatever, we'd love to have you back to make this right. And I might have even deleted my video. And then they unblocked me because everybody was in their comment section. They have yet to really say anything to me. They've not DM'd me or anything. And I would really probably would have just, like, that video probably wouldn't have just popped off if they just didn't respond. I don't really know, but I have a real job to do. So, Prickly Pear Coffee, I hope you have a great day. I don't think you're gonna. But, your refreshers are good.
I do think that Katie's tone is a bit more mean in this video, but I do think it's kind of justified since this comment probably would have pissed me off more too. So they start off with, it was actually $10. That is still a lot. I kind of have to agree with her when they're like, if it was $12 and you added extra stuff, first of all, the extra stuff brought it to $12. Yeah, she ordered refreshers. There's not much you can put extra in refreshers. And again, she said that it like needed lemonade and stuff. So she probably didn't add anything extra, you know what I mean? It was probably just a normal refresher just with water. Them claiming that it was the same amount that you would get in a venti is kind of crazy because no, I think in Starbucks a venti is a large. That barely looked like a medium, to be honest, in like 1/2 of that cup. I already talked about my feelings on how much ice companies are adding, but I don't know, it looked like there was a lot of ice in those cups. I'm just saying. And again, that's why people are choosing the larger corporation over these small businesses, because they're literally saying it themselves here. You can get 2 drinks at Starbucks, like 2 medium drinks at Starbucks for the price of one of their split in half coffees, which again really is just one drink, just 2 different flavors. My iPad fell, but you're only getting half of 2 different flavors. Like, we're gonna hope that this setup doesn't fall. I only record on boxes. What the fuck was I talking about? Okay. So they blocked her, unblocked her, and left a comment on her video. And the comments in this video are basically the same, just people either talking about their experience getting really expensive stuff at local shops, or just talking about how expensive the coffee is. And the thing is, I honestly think she's being kind of nice. Like, I mean, I'd be mad too if I got that response after making a video that I think is kind of fairly criticized, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, all she kind of said about the refreshers was that they could have used some lemonade, which I have to agree, because just water in refreshers is kind of gross sometimes. Like, it just needs more flavor, you know? But she literally said that their refreshers were good. Like, she's not saying that they were, like, complete shit, or that, like, she'd absolutely never go back and stuff. Like, no, she said if they made an actual good response to her video and tried to make it right, then she would have went back. However, this is not the end, obviously. And who I believe is the owner of Prickly Pear Coffee has come out and made 2 response videos to this video, so we are going to watch those now.
Talking about how we are scamming people with the price of our split cups, and I wanted to just explain on the back end about the pricing of these cups and also why I responded the way that I did. I'm reading my notes here so I can tell you the exact pricing. The first part of this is I'm not mad. Everyone has the right to their opinion. There's no hate towards the girl who made this video. I blocked her because honestly, my phone was blowing up with hate comments, and it has already been honestly like some of the hardest, like the last 6 weeks have just been brutal in business and personal. And so I apologize if that was perceived as rude or immature. It may have been all those things. I was not in a place to be able to receive these hate comments and let it roll off my back. She has been unblocked because I am no longer on our TikTok. Someone else has taken that over. Next, and the most important part as far as the price breakdown, the split cups are 2 12-ounce drinks. So I never want to come across as lying to our customers when saying they're full-size drinks. They're 2 12-ounce drinks. In total, that is 24 ounces of whatever drink you choose. They were designed to be half matcha, half coffee. That's how we post about them. That's how we advertise them. And so what you decide to put on either side is totally up to you, but the goal and intention is that they would be half matcha, half coffee. That's what the pricing is based off of. These cups are $1.18 each, including 2 straws, so this makes it over $1 more than our large 24-ounce ice cups. The milk can range anywhere from 35 cents to 77 cents, depending on the milk choice. And because our syrups are house-made, I'm sorry, I'm struggling to get through this, it can be anywhere from 10 cents to 82 cents, depending on what you're adding. If matcha is on the other side, it is 43 cents for the matcha in that split cup. If you're going to get the exact order that was in the video of the split cups, it's $3 per side because of the lemonade, so it's $6 total. It's not as good as a deal if you are doing refreshers rather than doing the coffee and the matcha. So to talk about profit margin specifically, the profit margin for half coffee, half matcha is 40%. For the order in the video, it's 50%, which is still below average. That profit margin goes towards paying employees and keeping the lights on. I also make nothing from owning Prickly. I don't take a salary. I am just paid as able based on how the months go. So it is not like there is, this 50% markup going straight to my pocket. No, it is truly just to keep the lights on, to pay our employees fairly, and to try to exist in a market that is ever evolving. At the end of the day, everyone spends their money differently. We are thankful for any way or shape you may choose to support us, but if that is not how you are comfortable spending your money, we totally understand that as well. I appreciate your taking your time to watch this video.
Okay, let's start off by addressing the first part of that video, which is where she talks about how she kind of wasn't in the right mindset to be receiving a bunch of hate comments, so that's why she blocked her and left the response that she did. I can understand that. She kind of reacted out of emotion, you know what I mean? Like, if she had been really stressed with the business and stuff going on in her personal life, that may have just added on top of it and just might have just felt like a personal attack to her in the moment. I think letting someone else take over the account was a very good idea. I think she should have maybe done it sooner, but better late than never, I guess. Before she maybe did or said anything else, that maybe wouldn't have been the best decision. I just watched someone with the same car that's in our driveway drive by, and I think they got confused because they stopped and stared at our car for a second. Anyways, but I can understand why that video might have affected her so much. It seems like people in the comments think that she is using that as an excuse for the way she acted. Again, I always talk about this, but the tone she uses, it kind of does make it seem like that. But I don't know. I personally just choose to believe her that is why she acted the way she did. But let's talk about the real part of the video, which is the pricing of the split cup. Okay, so starting off, she clarifies that the drinks are 2 12-ounce drinks, which adds up to 24 ounces, which I would say is basically a large drink, I want to say, which again, technically one drink, just two flavors, you know what I mean? Or I guess depending on how much your small, extra small is, 2 smalls, just 1 cup. Oh, and I didn't like the way that one sounded, actually. She also claims that this style of drink is designed to be half coffee, half matcha. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds really good. And that there is a set price for that, and that like anything else you want in the drinks is like a few cents extra, you know what I mean? Which again, I don't know if maybe I'm thinking of something wrong here, but I think maybe prices for the extra should be down a little bit since you're not getting as much, but I don't know. Or I guess maybe not, because 12 ounces is still a fair amount, I guess. I don't know. I still feel like that would come out to be pretty expensive, though, because you're paying for a large drink, but then she said, like, you're paying for, like, the matcha side is a bit more. So, like, if you're getting milk in your matcha, that's a bit more. And then if you're getting, like, syrup, which they make themselves, according to her, your coffee side, that's also more. And then milk in your coffee side, which is more. So I can see that adding up really quick. $12 is crazy, though. $12 is still crazy, though. Okay, regarding her charging for 2 straws, I get that that's something that you do have to put in your expenses, again, in order to break even, because straws are something that you obviously have to buy. Obviously, they have to be accounted for in your pricing. I don't know if it would come out to be that expensive. Like, did she say they were like $1 something more for the 2 straws? I really don't see straws being that expensive, you know what I mean? Because isn't it, I assume she buys in bulk, that's what most companies do, you know, just buying a ton of straws. So, like, most of the time what you do when you buy in bulk, like, isn't it like you take, like, price of, like, the item, all in bulk, and then, like, you divide it or something by how much is in there, like, how much product you get, and, like, that's like the price of a one, I think, something along that. I don't know, I failed algebra 2. Think I was good at math? No. But it's something like that is how you figure out the price of, like, one thing that you buy in bulk, you know. Usually if you don't know, like, sometimes I think if you buy from Amazon, it'll tell you, like, each thing in this package has, like, a, let's say, like, 80-cent value. This might sound mean, but I think if you don't have the funds to be, like, for at least half of the price, you know what I mean? Then maybe you shouldn't be doing split drinks. I don't know, I feel like that sounds so mean. But I don't know, I feel like obviously adding an account for the straw, like, is fine. But when you have 2 straws and it adds up to almost $2, I feel like that doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like straws shouldn't be that much. 1, again, I don't run a business, so I'm not sure how much straws are. But 2, I feel like it just shouldn't be that much, you know what I mean? Like, and if you absolutely have to charge that much for it to be profitable, then maybe it's just something you shouldn't be doing right now. I don't really understand all of, like, profit margin stuff she was talking about. Again, wasn't that good at math. But I don't understand why you can't just make the refresher, the, like, half and half refresher. I don't understand why you can't just make that something else, you know what I mean? Or, like, make it its own menu item. And, like, I don't understand why it would be more, you know what I mean? Like, again, I know she's talking about, like, profit margin and stuff, but I don't understand why it would be more. Like, just for a bit of lemonade, you know what I mean? Well, let me watch that again, because maybe I'm just not understanding something. So it's $3 per side because of the lemonade, $6. And then she says it's not as good as a deal, but that's still one drink. I feel like that's still fine, you know what I mean? Again, if you're doing the matcha and the coffee and you're getting all the extras in it, assuming you just don't want black coffee and plain matcha and you're getting syrup and, like, milk, special milk in your matcha and stuff like that, that's gonna add up, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's gonna come out to be about the same. So I'm kind of struggling to understand how she paid $12 for the split refresher. And even if she didn't pay $12 like you claim, how did she pay $10 if she claims there wasn't even lemonade in it? Or maybe the $6 is without all the other, like, fees on top of it and stuff. I'm not too sure. And I don't really, even if your drinks were meant to be, your, like, split drinks were meant to be half matcha, half coffee, you can't tell me that you haven't had someone order it differently. You know, even if you advertised it that way. Like, there hasn't been someone who's ever been like, can I get, like, a strawberry matcha on one side and then, like, regular matcha on another side, or one flavor of coffee, another flavor of coffee. No one's ever ordered 2 refreshers. Like, how do you not have any alternative options for this on your menu? Or again, I'm still not sure if that like no prices on menu thing was true or not, but a lot of the comments are kind of saying the same thing I'm saying. Just confused, honestly. Like, I'm not sure how lemonade and refreshers come out to be cheaper than matcha, or come out to be more expensive than matcha and coffee. Like, just the pricing doesn't make sense, and a lot of people just don't vibe with her apology. Or not really apology, it's kind of just more of an explanation. However, she did make one last video, so let's take a look at that.
Katie and apologized and refunded her drinks, and she acknowledged that and said thank you for that. I did not respond well. I got defensive, and I completely own that. I haven't been on the TikTok, but I've been hearing that there are good suggestions as well, and so we've taken those suggestions just as far as advertising goes, and writing in the description like, hey, this is priced for a coffee and a matcha, and our team, as people are ordering, will probably recommend that too as well if this is priced for that. It really is just so sad to see people capitalizing on that and capitalizing on hurting a small business, on directly coming after me for my mental health. You know, as a woman-owned business, I would expect that we would encourage each other. At the end of the day, I hate that the prices have to be what they are as well. I posted a video on this actually recently about how hard it was for me to raise prices, but that we had to if we wanted to keep the doors open. So yeah, I mean, it sucks. It just does. I understand not wanting to spend that much money. I do. And with all due respect, you don't have to spend that money. I get it. You know, we have to pick and choose where we spend our money. I totally get it. Yeah, I don't really have much to say, because I don't think what I say is going to be liked regardless. And so what I will say is it's just sad to see the way we're tearing each other down. That's kind of all I have to give.
So I will say I kind of like this apology less than the other one somehow. I don't know, I think, is this mean to say? I feel like it was kind of guilt trippy. Like, I don't know, I really didn't feel like, at least from what I saw, I didn't see anyone weaponizing her mental health against her. Just a lot of buzzwords there, you know what I mean? But like, I didn't really see any of that. It was more just confusion and criticism and how she prices. And I'm sure people definitely did take, like, hating and whatever you want to call it, I'm sure people did take it too far. But I don't know, I mean, I'm glad that Katie got a refund and, I mean, an apology. I mean, that's great for her, but I kind of don't know what to even say about this one, because it's just weird. I feel like no one was trying to tear down or shut down her business. Like, I feel like she was, like, I feel like the excuse here of, like, oh, we're a woman-owned business, why aren't the other women, like, supporting us through this and stuff? And it's like, I feel like that kind of doesn't hold up when you're just when you're just being given, honestly, kind of valid criticism about your prices. And again, I'm so sorry if this sounds mean, but they have 4 locations. If your business is struggling, maybe close one of your locations. Just maybe temporarily, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I kind of feel like she's trying to make it seem like her business is struggling because of what Katie said, but she never really said too much mean about her. You know what I mean? Like, she said that the drinks were good. She said if the pricing was better, she would have gone back there. But the pricing was just too much for her. She didn't believe that it should be that much, so she just personally isn't going back there. I want to look at their website, actually. So their latte is $6.60. Their Americano is $4.50. Their split iced cup, which they do advertise as being half matcha, half iced coffee, is $8.80, which I do feel like maybe you should put a disclaimer on your prices that it starts at that price, and like anything you add on is going to make it more. Or again, like split cup, iced cup, or split iced cup is what they call it. Maybe add another split refresher if it's more, you know what I mean? Honey cinnamon shaken espresso is $7. Espresso is $4. Mocha is $6.80. Latte is $6.60. Honestly, the honey cinnamon shaken espresso doesn't sound bad, but their price, $7 for a matcha, I'm not sure if that's a lot or not. Because again, that's the starting price. You know what I mean? Because she said they charge extra for like syrups and milk and everything. $7 starting price. Honey lavender latte. Honey lavender matcha. Why could I not say that for a second? I don't know, I'm just kind of trying to read off the ones that sound like the most unique here. Unfortunately, a lot of them do sound pretty basic. And like, this is going back to the kind of like, you can just go to Starbucks and get the same thing for cheaper. Yeah, a lot of their stuff does sound, a few of their items do sound kind of unique and stuff. Like, I don't even remember what the like shaken cinnamon honey one, what even did I say sounded good? Yes, they claim that their syrups are house made, and I don't doubt that. Again, maybe I'm just a certain type of person, but I honestly don't want to believe that someone would lie about that. And am I encouraging people to go get that stuff at Starbucks for cheaper? No. But the problem is when your prices are so crazy that like I kind of had to think for a second when I saw some of the prices, and I'm like, is that reasonable? Or like, because again, obviously people buying from a small business they normally have the understanding that it's going to be a bit more than when they are buying from a corporation, you know? And, you know, that's okay most of the time because they are choosing to buy from the small business. But just like Tyler Catastrophe's art that we were talking about a bit ago, it gets to a point where, yes, it is your product and you are selling it. You can technically charge however you want for it, but it does get to a point where you are overcharging and just, it kind of gets disrespectful to the customer at a certain point when you just overcharge too much. You know, like obviously paying back the materials and stuff so you can break even, again, perfectly fine. It is what is expected when you're buying stuff like this. However, there being a ton of fees and other stuff on top of it that just make it ridiculously expensive is going to turn people away. And they could have super good drinks, but again, the pricing is going to drive people away. Or at least not make people come back. You know what I mean? It could be a super good drink, but people aren't gonna come back for more if it's too expensive, even if it is really good. But I think that's gonna be it from me for this video. Comment down below any experience that you have had at a local shop, or comment your thoughts on the situation. If you liked the video, then please like the video and maybe watch another video and then consider subscribing, and I will hopefully see you guys very soon. Bye.